Paul mentioned the word to mind one's own business. Is it possible to mind one's own business and still help others in need by talking to them about Christ? If Paul mentioned that for the Thessalonians, how is it applicable to today's world? Pastor, this question is more about what is the interpretation of that minding your own business in Thessalonians?
In Thessalonians, when Paul is saying, mind your own business, it is not encouraging Thessalonian believers to be selfish about their own things and to forget about their responsibility to others. Thessalonian church struggled with some busybodies who did nothing but were always busy. And some had become parasites. It will take time for me to explain that, but in that my book on Thessalonians, I have addressed that issue. And other scholars also have done enough work. There were some who thought that Christ is going to come now, so stopped earning their bread. They're busy with so many things, but doing nothing. So they had become parasites who had become a burden upon the church and upon other believers. And Paul is saying, earn with your hand and eat. If you do not work, you have no right to eat. Okay? In that context, he's saying, 11 is quoted, right? And to make it your own ambition to lead a quiet life, you should mind your own business and work with your hand, just as we told you. You know, you do your job and earn your bread and live with that rather than becoming a burden on somebody else. So that is the context. So how does it apply today? It doesn't apply to a genuine believer. It only applies to a lazy one who doesn't want to work and sit in his flat in Bangalore context or in his house and then expect the church to feed him 3 times a day, or fellow believers or neighbor to feed. No, that is not. Laziness has no room in Christian faith and practice. Christian spirituality does not endorse laziness. And so Paul is saying, if you do not work, you shall not eat. Sometime in the class context, I joke with students. Not joke, actually, jokingly, I say serious thing. I say, you don't work hard, you have no right to pass. You don't work hard, you have no right to expect A+. But if you work hard, do your best, you have every right to expect that. So if you expect to get the highest grade, please work hard. If not, take whatever comes. So that's exactly Paul's policy. Don't work, don't eat.
But this is not talking in relation to sharing the gospel and sharing Christ's faith.
No. It is not telling mind your own business means you cut off yourself from the rest of the world.
Right.
In the time of pandemic, like COVID pandemic that we are facing, church or the individual Christian, a true believer, cannot mind his own business and eat 3 times of meal, enjoy it and forget the neighbor who may be suffering with COVID and say that I don't care, I'm indifferent, Paul has told me mind your own. No, it's not about that.
It's about gossip and...
It is about those who have become a headache. Even when they can work, they do not want and they expect you to supply meals to their house. Something of that sort.
Yeah.
You know? So social responsibility is not denied here. Social responsibility is endorsed. That is why Paul says elsewhere in Galatians chapter 6, he says, bear the burden of one another. There the language is financial.
Yes.
Bearing the burden, the language that he uses is financial language. So that is what it means. So social responsibility is never denied with this.
Yes.
But social responsibility of all cannot be a loophole for somebody to sit and imagine that I will sit and eat doing nothing. Laziness has no room in Christian spirituality and Christian walk of life. Hard work is the way that Jesus has shown, and hard work is the way in which Paul has lived, and hard work is the way for us to follow in the days to come.
Yeah.
He will give fruit to one's labor who is willing to work hard. Do your part, God will do the rest. That's all.